Good evening, everyone. It is me, the fabulous Leo Brown, and I'm on here. Okay, how do I start this video? Okay, so I'm on here to talk about two things. And the first thing that I want to talk about is the school shooting that happened in Parkland, Florida. And also, I'm going to talk about Black Panther. First things first, let's talk about the shooting. I'm not going to lie. I hurt for those children. I hurt for the parents. I hurt for the friends. I hurt for everybody involved. I hurt for the world, really. That and I actually include myself in this, that we have become so desensitized to things like this happening. Because before this we had the shooting in Vegas, then we had the shooting in I think Texas, then we had, of course, Sandy Hook, and even going all the way back to Columbine that happened in '99. Um, I'm so sad that we have become such a desensitized world, not just a country, but a world. Um, and we talk about like somebody put up a meme that I actually used because I wanted to express my thoughts via social media last night about it, and the meme was basically like a chain. Excuse me, like a circle, like a chain of you know there's outrage, there's tears, there's thoughts and prayers, and nothing happens. There's no reform. There's no real change. There's no real headway into the situation. Or how we make the shooter if they happen to be, and I'm just gonna be real here. If they happen, and let me just preface this video by saying, if you don't like what I'm about to say, you are more than welcome to click off because I'm not going to be nice, and I am not going to apologize for what I'm going to say. But the media, and I don't blame the person, but I blame the media. They're now making the person who did the shooting into this, oh, he has a troubled childhood. Oh, this and okay, but you knew all of this. You knew that this person had deep psychological issues. He was suspended from school. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, how many people does it take? How many people does it take, or will it take? How many people have to die in order for us to wake up and become aware, not woke? Because woke, and I'm kind of I'm gonna go on a tangent because I get so sick of that. I'm woke, stay woke. Okay, here's the thing about that. I believe that you should stay woke, but to me, staying woke, to me, this is just my opinion. To me, staying woke means being aware. It means being aware of your surroundings. It means being aware of the people that you're with. It means being aware of what's going on, the laws in your city, your state, your jurisdiction. It means being aware that in this country, if you are not a person of color, you have or any kind of minority, not just person of color, because it's women too, but you have a target on your back. I'm just being honest. Okay, so and also being aware that not everyone is going to agree with what you say, and you're gonna have opposition, and you're gonna have people that don't care about your feelings and your thoughts and prayers, and the fact that you cry about these kids. So I'll be honest with you, I know people that have. I shouldn't say I know. I have mutual friends that lost people in posts. And when this happened, that's the first place they went to because it was in Florida. And it made me think, for people who have survived mass shootings, what does this do for them? This brings up constant reliving. This brings up PTSD, excuse me. This brings up so many different emotional and mental drainages and anxieties. And just like they were saying, one girl, somebody died on top of her. This was her friend. This was somebody, you know, I mean, what more do we need to do? And yes, people, oh, we have a statement from the president. That's not enough. I'm sorry. I'm not, and if you know me by now, I am not a President Trump fan. I never will be a fan of that man because he is not presidential. It doesn't matter if he was Democrat or Republican. In this, especially in this instance, you're not being presidential at all. I understand sympathy and empathy. You should have that. But at the same token in time, this has happened far too many times. This has happened far, like way too, and it's the same weapon. What does a person need who is under 21? He can't drink, but he can go and get him an AK-15 assault rifle. Really? But he can't drink. He can vote. He can serve in the military. He can't drink, but he can buy an assault rifle and just go into a school, and not just a school, a movie theater, a church. I mean, let's not forget about what happened at Mother Emanuel. Let's not forget about what happened in Aurora, Colorado. Let's not forget about what happened at Post. Let's not forget about any of those things. And people were coming down on this mother. She went on CNN and basically ran it and was like, I have to pay funeral arrangements I gotta arrange funeral arrangements for my daughter. I spent the last 2 hours arranging funeral arrangements for my daughter. And I'll be honest with you. Did I want to come and talk on here about this? No, I'm gonna be real. I really didn't, because I like my channel to be fun and light, but I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, being woke means you can do both. You can talk about, if I can talk about T.S. Madison and the Queen's Court and all that bullshit, I can talk about this. I'm just saying. I can talk about issues that affect me. Because no, I am not in school. But what if I had a child? But even if I'm not in school, just imagine how people feel about going out. Just going out in general. Stepping outside their house. People that deal with anxiety and agoraphobia issues and things like that. Imagine how they may feel now. Just think about that for 1 minute. Let that sink in for people that deal with that. I know I have a friend of mine that deals with really severe anxiety to the point to where he can't even leave the house. So just imagine what that would do to you hear something like this and you're struggling with that. You're struggling with that kind of disorder. What does that do? That makes you go back in your shell even more. I'm just saying. So this isn't, yeah. I cry. I really did. And I'm gonna be real. I cried for those people. I cried for everybody. Because those kids did not deserve that. No child. And even, you know what? It's not even a child thing. No human being. No decent, just like in Vegas, just like the same thing. They were just there to enjoy music. It doesn't matter what kind of music it was. They were there to enjoy themselves and have a good time. Kind of wipe away the stress for a minute, for an hour or two. Have some fun. Probably saved their money. Took their family out. Bought some food. Saw some attractions in Vegas if they were tourists. They didn't deserve to die like that. No one deserves that kind of pain. And that's what I'm saying. This isn't just going to go away because the bodies are gone and they're in the ground. This is going to last forever because you now have to deal with the mental issues, the emotional issues, and the spiritual issues too. Because you got to deal with the healing process and grieving. And you're dealing with children. You're dealing with 14, 15, in this case, You're dealing with high schoolers. You're dealing with people who are already going through a lot. They're already going through a lot with social media and bullying and all that kind of stuff. And then to know that at any moment their life could be cut short. You know what I mean? At that moment, they didn't realize that. They had no intention of going to school that day and thinking, oh, well, we got to get under our desk and hide because some person's going to come in here and shoot us. And then when it comes to the shooter, here's my thing about that. Now, if this shooter had been, fuck it, I'm going to say it anyway. If he had been black, they would have shot him. They would have shot him down like a dog. But you captured him. For what? This man massacred 17 people. Nobody won in this. And yes, he had a hard life. I'm not, what am I trying to say? I am not, making, oh Lord, I can't even think. Making, I'm not, invalidating, wait, there we go. I couldn't think of the word. I'm not invalidating his experience and what he went through. I'm not invalidating it at all because obviously he had a lot of issues. He had a lot of pain. But I don't understand how that makes him different or it makes him a martyr or we should feel sorry for him because, oh, well, he had a heart, or that's excusable. That's excusable. Okay, well, he went through it. He went through it. He had a hard life. Really? So, I mean, this is from a person who was stalking a girl. This is from a dude who was very much an extremist. And let me also say this. Believe it or not, I am very pro-gun. I'm not NRA, or as I call it, the nigger reflect association, because that's basically what they use. Oh, it's a reflex, it's a black person, it's a brown person. That's why we want our guns. We're afraid of them, I'm not like that, but I am pro-gun. Believe it or not, I am. But I am also pro-gun control. Because there's no way on the goddess's green earth that a human being should own an assault rifle. For what? What you plan on shooting? I mean, hunting I get, because I know I have friends that are hunters. Hunting I understand. But even in that, you have to take special precautions. You have to take classes. There's background checks. There's things you have to do regarding hunting tools. You don't just go and go, hunt. That's not the way it works. At least from what I've been told by my friends who hunt. That's not the way it works. So I just don't understand. Okay, he had a hard life. So that's an excuse for him to go and shoot 17 people? Just randomly kill people? He had a hard life. Oh, no. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to make this dude into a martyr. Because the extremist, conservative, right-wing, alt-right, whatever you want to call them, they're already doing that. We, as decent human beings, should not do that. Let's call a thing, as Mother Yola would say. This person deserves what he's getting. And I hope he gets I hope he gets the punishment that he deserves. Because he does. But see, I also blame the school district that he was in. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you knew this dude, you got him off your property and you suspended him from school. But if you knew he was like this, you knew classmates were afraid of him, you knew that he was capable of this, why didn't you go to the proper authorities and say, look, I think this person may need some counseling, or we may need to do a psych valve or something, or have him institutional something. Why didn't you do that as a school? Because expelling him obviously was not enough. Suspending him didn't cut it. And now, from this moment on, you have kids who are afraid to go to school. This is why a lot of people are choosing to homeschool their children, because they're like, no, if I'd rather I teach them as a parent. This is why a lot of Gen Xers like myself don't have kids. This is part of the reason why. That we can't afford them any goddamn way, because anyway, that's a whole other video for a whole other day. But yeah, because honestly, I love children, I really do. But until this country changes and becomes a little bit more balanced, I doubt I have kids. I seriously doubt I have kids. I love kids. You give me a baby, I will melt down. But I don't want to raise my children in this kind of world. In a world of separation, in a world of divisiveness, in a world of everybody's on the defensive. There's no peace. There's no balance. I'm not saying that, we need to be a utopia. No, we don't. We don't. I think you need the black and white. You need that. You need the shades of gray. You need all of it. You need the good and the bad. You do. But I just don't believe. I don't want my kids being raised in that kind of fear. If I ever decide to have children, I don't want my kids being raised in that kind of fear. That's the same way with me. To be honest with you, that's one of the reasons why I don't really go to clubs like I used to. That, and I'm not really a club head anyway, but part of it was after Post happened, and I knew friends that lost friends, I was like, I don't know if I feel comfortable going to a club or going, and yes, these are the chances you take. You get hit by a car tonight, tomorrow. That's true. But you shouldn't have to live under this constant thing of, okay, something's going to get me. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to look over your shoulder. It shouldn't be this Mr. Rogers neighborhood kind of world, but it shouldn't be a world where it's just, a muck. And also, it shouldn't be a world where nothing is being done. And that's where I fault our political system. I fault it. I fault Congress. I fault even the Senate in some ways. Because it's like, well, what the fuck are y'all doing? Really? Why is this should have been, there should have been gun reform the minute Columbine went down. The minute Columbine happened, they should have said, okay, and if you remember Columbine, leave it below, please. But they should have said, all right, let's ban all this kind of stuff. Let's do this. Let's put this in place. Both liberals and conservatives should have come to an agreement, because let's be real, you're all in bed with each other anyway, regardless of who we vote for. Okay? So, yeah. Okay? So they should have come together immediately, like right after that happened. It shouldn't take all these tragedies to happen like this, and for us as Americans to become desensitized to this kind of stuff. We shouldn't be desensitized to this. We should be outraged. Now to be honest, I'm very angry. I'm very sad, honestly, and hurt, because I look at the next generations. Because let's be real, the Gen Xers are getting old. Some of us are nearing 40. Some of us are 40. We're getting older. Come on now, people. Get it together. I just don't. I don't get it. And my thoughts are with them. I will definitely be running to the polls. And I'm gonna say this too. And I really didn't mean to make this a political video, but it just happened. Deal with it. But go to the polls. Do the right thing. I'm not gonna tell you who to vote for, because that's your business. But do the right thing. Better yourself. Better your country. Have a voice in this world. Okay? Stand and be counted. That's all I'm saying on that. Now, let's talk about Black Panther. First of all, to the director, to Chadwick Boseman, to Lupita, to all of the cast and crew. And Michael B. Jordan, I am so proud of them. I'm happy for them. I hope, and I know it's going to do extremely well. I am going to go see it. I don't know when, but I am. Um, and there's been a lot of controversy. People are like, well, why is this such a big deal? Here's why. For those of you who don't understand why the Black Panther movie is such a huge, 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 huge deal, is because okay, think about it if, well, let me see, I'm trying to think of a way to, well, I'm just going to say it. It's because it's us. It represents, I'm a black person. I'm a black man. For the first time, maybe in a long time or ever, I'm seeing me being represented. But not just me, but me's in different colors, skin tones, like everything. Granted, it's in a comic book form. But for a young boy or a young girl that says, I can be a hero, I can be strong, I can be noble, I can be a king, I can be a queen, I am a king, I am a queen. That's why this is such a big deal for many people. And I'll be real, I am not a big comic book fan. I'm not a comic nerd at all. Like ask my brother, ask my family. They will tell you I am so one of those like who? What? Who? Like I know the 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 extent of my comic book knowledge is what is his name? See, what's his name? Oh Lord, I see him bald headed. Ooh, oh my goodness, what's his name? Lord, I can't. Bald headed dude, New York. Uh, was in the prison. You know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about. Him, Catwoman, Wonder Woman, which Catwoman and Wonder Woman are DC. And when I say Catwoman, I mean like Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman, not Halle Berry. What else? I know some of the Avengers, some of it, and like Captain America Civil War, and that's it. And the only reason why the only reason why I watched Captain America Civil War was because I had to get prepared to figure out who Black Panther was. Had no clue. I'm not a comic book nerd fan. I am a pop culture nerd. You want to ask me about a movie or TV or music in particular, I'm down. Like I'm like ooh, but well, some music of today not so much. But but if it's like music from like 30 years ago, 30 years plus, I'm all over it. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but that's not the point. The point is we're being represented. And I kind of don't want to use this analogy, but it's kind of like when if you guys remember when Memoirs of a Geisha came out, and you had Michelle Yao, you had you had an all Asian cast, you had Ken Watanabe, you had which that's actually one of my favorite films because it's so pretty. You had all these wonderful people being represented of Asian descent being represented in the movie. And for a lot of Asians, it was a big deal because they were like, oh my God, finally, I'm seeing me. But I'm also seeing different aspects of who I am, of my culture being represented. Granted, both Black Panther and Memoirs of a Geisha, they're works of fiction, but still, to see you, it's just like for me. I'll give you a really good example. It's just like for me. Growing up for me, because I'm a Gen Xer, so growing up for myself, my big thing was like Video Soul, BET, Teen Summit, Soul Train, to see my people doing well on the screen. What was another one? Oh gosh, even Dynasty to a certain point to see Dominique Devereaux. to see 227, to see, granted they were all comedies and dramas, but to see someone like myself, someone that I could relate to, relatability. That's why this is important to us. That's why this is such a big deal. That now, granted, here's the thing that I want to say. Here's my little side note though about it. What I have an issue with is two things. One, I love my people. I do. I love my people. But the one thing I don't want us to do, don't treat this movie, don't treat this movie like Coachella. Please don't. Don't do that. Don't, I'll call her back. Don't treat this movie like Coachella. I'm sorry, y'all. Forgive me. But don't treat this movie like Coachella. Don't do that. Don't treat this movie like it's just, I mean, it's good to celebrate blackness, but you should celebrate your blackness 24 hours a day. Not just once a month, but 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365. Okay? And also, and a Facebook friend of mine brought this up, and actually he was right. Because many people are dressing up in African garb for the premiere. And they're wearing, kente cloth and things like that. And he said, I get that people want to celebrate. I understand it. However, if that is not a part of your lineage, if you're not a part of the kente, the Ashanti tribe or the tribes in which kente comes from, you may not want to do that because that's disrespectful. And some people got on him about it. And I understood what he was saying. I think he said it in a very condescending way. But I understood what he meant. He basically was saying, don't appropriate your own culture. You don't like it when whites do it or other cultures do it. Don't do that. And unfortunately, we as black people, because unfortunately we don't know. You know what I mean? Like I can't check. Like I could, but it would take a lot of work to trace the tribe I come from, my family comes from, my people, the ship that we arrived on. You know what I mean? It would take work. But for many of us, we don't know that. So we just pick what we think is us and we go with it. I do understand it, but I actually agree with this. Don't appropriate your own culture because then you're no better than the people you get on about. You're no better than Miley or Justin Timberlake or, Robin Thicke or any of those people. There's nothing wrong with appreciating culture. Shout out to John B. Because John B appreciates culture. We love you, John B. But appropriating it is a different story. So I do agree with this. And my second and final point with the whole Black Panther thing is if we can get out here and support this movie like we're doing, like we did with Hidden Figures, like we did with so many black films, Boys in the Hood, and if we can do that with all these films, we can definitely do that when it comes to political concerns. We can do that when it comes to our businesses. We can do that when it comes to our families, our communities. We can do the same thing. If you want to sit up here and run for Jordans and you support Love and Hip Hop Miami and Atlanta and all that kind of stuff, and you support this, then you can do the same thing in your own communities. And it doesn't have to be this big grand gesture, but something. Something. Standing up for what's right, for what's true, for what's honest, for what feels right to you. Buying from a black-owned business and not getting a discount. Not asking for something for free. Supporting people. If you can support that, because we're doing it. We're buying our tickets and it's not just us, because it's black, it's white, it's everyone. But it's breaking records. It's breaking glass ceilings, which is wonderful. We did the same thing with Girls Trip. Girls Trip, same thing. If you can do that like you did with Girls Trip, you can do that with this movie, but you can also do that within your own community too. And you can definitely do it when you go vote. The Alabama Senate race was proof of that. Just saying. So that's all I had to say on those two things. I just wanted to talk. I know this was 30 minutes long, but and I have to admit, I debated coming on here and talking about it, but I was like, nope, I have to get it off my chest. So, tell me what you think. Leave your opinions down below. I do read them. Keep it respectful. Keep it nice. Be calm with it. You know, don't sit up here being disrespectful, because if you are, I will read you for filth and I will block you. Okay? So until then, darlings, have a wonderful night. If you're going to the movies tomorrow, be safe, have fun, enjoy the movie, and I will talk with all of you soon. It is me, the fabulous Leo Brown. See you later. Bye bye.